Hey everybody, it's pal Drew, and time to show off the Micronauts third and final Omnibus from the Marvel years. I really wasn't expecting this. It actually got delayed enough that I forgot about it, and then I impetuously opened it. Oh, I thought, shit, I could have made it like an unboxing video out of it. So, I can't believe it after all this time. We're talking 40 years. With no exaggeration there. It has the last handful of issues of... I'm trying to see the last 5 issues of Micronauts. That's a double-sized one. And then the rest is the revival that was shortly thereafter, like months later, not even a year later, by Peter Gillis and Kelly Jones. And it's really interesting to see Kelly Jones grow. He started off inking Butch Geist, and there's a lot of people who have done that in the past, like Paul Ryan when he inked John Byrne on the last couple issues of West Coast Avengers, and then he took over the book. It's sort of and that's not the only example. There's a lot of examples like that. But so let's get to it. It's like, shut up, Drew. Show me the book. Got my handy X-Acto knife, and always be careful. And I will reiterate what I always say. Make sure you can find your X-Acto blade, or it has a way of finding you. So, I think back in 86 or 87, when I was like right out of the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, I was cutting some boards, and I was in a production company for this waste management company, believe it or not. And then the crash of 87 happened. I was out of a job, but while I was there, I cut myself real good, like enough to have to go to the hospital. And my boss was less than pleased, but it was my carelessness. But since then, I've never really had a problem with it. So, be careful, she bites. I'm quoting from Paul, that great movie. Okay, well, here we go. I chose the golden cover because all 3 have Michael Golden covers, but there are variants. There's one from Kelly Jones issue. That's a great cover, but I just wanted to keep it consistent. And, oh man, look at that. That's golden. Experimenting with color. What's really interesting at this time is, to my knowledge, this is when he started doing color. There's some original art. And... look at that. Adding the line work and doing the color on his own. Beautiful. And this is before Photoshop. I know I have to always say that, but man, it's beautiful stuff. Oh, unused cover from Butch Geist. Wow, look at that. Yeah, the book had been really wobbly for a while, and then let me see. And when Butch Geist came along, he was kind of a brand new kid on the block, and he pumped some life back into the book. There's Kelly Jones, information on him, who would become a legend. This is the Art Adams cover I could have chosen, but it's cool. Although it's a little too shimmery. It's kind of shiny. I think it could have been toned down a little bit, but that's just me. And whoa. Okay. Now let's get down to it, to the meat of the book. Man, I love this series. I reread it so many times, like in floppies. And now the only thing they haven't reprinted is a 4-issue miniseries that's incredible. It's the X-Men and the Micronauts. It's a 4-issue miniseries that is the only thing not included in here, but it makes a little sense because Bill Mantlo has incorporated all these Marvel characters in his stories, and that was half the reason, Hasbro and Marvel were putzing around, locking heads or just not realizing the gold mine they had. I'm sure they did very well because there's a ton of people like me who grew up with it. And, even if you're a younger reader, a newer reader, it's friggin' incredible. It really is. And, Micronauts. And what's also interesting is they're lineup changes a lot, and it's not like an Avengers thing where they swear someone in. Sometimes a character dies, sometimes a new character comes along, and it's interesting. It's based on story, not just a gimmick. There's introduction by Ralph Macchio. I would love to talk to him sometime. To me, he's like the most mysterious guy who's worked for Marvel for 50 years. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, he's been an editor, and he usually is involved with quality work. I associate his name with quality because I think he edited David Mazzucchelli's Daredevil issues when they came along. So he saw something in Mazzucchelli that he knew would be great one day. Now this is a reprint from the previous issue, and this is mostly to it's not good gutters. The gutters are a big disappointment here. Map of Homeworld. No, it's Homeworld. That's a letdown. Here we go, Micronauts. Now Huntar, he was a villain a few issues earlier, and now he joined the Micronauts. And I don't want to spoil something. Okay, I'm getting past something real quick because it is a hell of a spoiler. But there he is, Bad in Causa. One of the coolest looking designs that, Hasbro did design Causa, but everybody else, I don't know, in a Croyer, but they were much more simplified. But the Croyer is more simplified, but Baron Causa is pretty much on the spot. I never had a toy of them, so I don't know. They came and went so fast, just like ROM Space Knight. Well, I did have a Biotron, though. Man. So Huntar can turn himself into a spaceship. He got all these great... he's a living weapon. He can transform himself into just a really... A lot of stuff going on. That's great. Oop. Ah, a little fumetti. Here we go. There are worlds within worlds. I heard someone say that once. Way down deep inside, way down. One such atom is a microverse from which the Micronauts come. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I love that. I think Pat Broderick originally did that. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, man, Croyer. He's like, yeah. Try to mess with me. Mm-hmm. This is my cloak of glory. There's Captain Universe, and my ebon armor has become white, as pure as driven snow. That's interesting, because it's Time Traveler doing some kind of fancy stuff. I don't even remember that part. Wow, look at that. And he actually made Bug. He kind of went back to Michael Golden and Pat Broderick were the only ones who gave Bug like these long extended legs and these big toes, and just exaggerated it. There he is with his gal. Wow, this is the double size issue I told you about. Look at that, they get outfitted in space costumes. Boy, I love that. Love it. And then, wow. Now that's a bonus I hadn't seen before. So it gives you, he actually is partially alive. How about that? Wow. I mean, so much love and care into that. For the meaning behind this tantalizing phrase, be sure to check out X-Men Micronauts 4 and Micronauts 58, Ralph Macchio. Note. I don't know what the phrase is, but I'll have to look. I'm just in a hurry. It's just too cool. And that was great. Micronauts went direct sales only, and they eschewed the newsstand, and that meant no ads. So Geist was kicking ass on some of those ads. I know Butch, he's a good guy. I say Geist, I feel weird calling him Geist because I know him as Butch. I worked with him at CrossGen way back when. So all things are coming. Another Michael Gold gem of a cover. So A mighty Micronauts bid a fond farewell. The mighty Micronauts bid a fond farewell to their creator, boisterous Bill Mantlo. May the Enigma Force be with you. Marionette gives him a peck. Aw, gee. Come on, buddy. We got some swashbuckling to do. Send-ups make me so sad. They went to do a creator-owned graphic novel called Swords of the Swashbuckler, and it was like a space pirate sort of story with a female lead, and it was pretty cool. And oops, shit. Wait, this ain't the first issue, is it? Oh, new one? No. It's the last issue. They're just going through what they've gone through. You know, letting. Okay. And there's micro mails. Not to be confused with macrame. How about that? Another Butch Guys piece. Here we go. And all new adventures in the strangest cosmos of all. And there's Kelly Jones, inked by Bruce Patterson, who I love. His stuff is great. He's one of those great inkers that nobody talks about. He did Green Lantern in the over... Oh gosh, he did it over... Oh shoot, I can't think of his name. The guy who drew Watchmen. I can't believe I can't think of his name. But he did a great job over Dave Gibbons. So I got to ink Dave Gibbons once for a short Legion of Superheroes story about 2005. And I look back on it, I'm like, that sucked. But, you know, he was very nice about it. He said it was fine. But you're always toughest on yourself if you want to be good, that is. So, what's going on there? So it's interesting to see Kelly Jones sort of going the Butch Guys route just to get himself warm. And now you're getting stuff like that you're going to see a lot more of that Barry Wrightson influence that he will make. And then he will take that influence of Bernie Wrightson and he will skew it violently in like the best possible way. And countless Batman covers in the 90s, as well as this great Deadman miniseries he did with Michael Barron. He basically made Deadman a skeleton with a costume, and it was so creepy. So, that's sweet. Yep. Pencil and ink. Those were the days. So, really good stuff. I don't know who did this. This doesn't look like Kelly, is it? It's Rod Wiggum. Okay. Aiken and Garvey, who I've always liked. So, that's pretty cool. Page. Let's see. Keith Pollard, pencils and inks. That's impressive as all hell. And there's Devil, who was a character who was a Micronaut at one time. And, oh man. Huntar looks so badass. Huntar. Some really great... Look at that, man. That's crazy. That's just crazy stuff, man. Man. So anyway, here, my thing about the X-Men Micronauts, I think it will definitely be reprinted, but they will probably give it like an oversized hardcover treatment and charge a lot of money for it. And people like me will end up, giving away their money for it. So I really think it'll be reprinted. I think they just wanted this to be pure Micronauts with the whole Marvel Universe being guest stars. But they'll reprint it. Don't worry. Yeah, Danny Bonatti, I'm not a fan of his. He got really good around the late 80s, but he's doing okay here. But I think Kelly was penciling really tight. Some really gruesome stuff. This was the one of the other covers that was a variant cover for this collection. So really sweet. I just think he makes Bonatti makes the hair muddy and not as nuanced. Man, oh man, Jones is going crazy with these designs. That's very Kirby without being a swipe, which is tricky. Oh God, fucking Beyonder. Oh, God, it's horrible. That whole thing. I mean, some of the books were pretty good at how they handled it, but it was such an awful intrusion into otherwise good books. So, who is this? I don't even remember. Oh, Howard Bender. Okay, wow. Wow. He used to do Legion of Superheroes, I think, in the late 70s, or early to mid-late 70s. The 70s is what I'm saying, basically. So, wow, that's very nice, but it's, that's very Michael Golden, too. And like I said, more and more, Kelly was just really, really standing out and just making the book his. It only lasted 20 issues, and also these 20 issues went back on the newsstands. They were no longer exclusive to the stores, the comic shops. So anyway, that's all. I don't want to spoil it for you, but wow, I have 3 ROM Space Knight Omnibus reprinting the entire series, and now I have 3 Micronauts series in 3 big old omnibuses that will look beautiful displayed on my bookshelf. And anyway, check it out. It's pretty cool. You can get it. What is it? The retail was like, what is it? The retail was like, yeah, 120, but I only paid. I think it was on what's it called? In Stock Trades. That's the name of the place. I paid only, let me see, I only paid $77.22. That includes the $4 shipping and $5 tax. So, I'd direct you to that if you're interested. But it's finally here. Hey, amazing! Wow. So I'm going to enjoy this, and I will talk to you all later, and I will come back with the Valkyrie third of 3 episodes in a day or two. Take it easy. Bye.